No, we need to talk about all of these misconceptions that are going around that are stopping you from being confident because you are believing all of these lies that people are spewing out to stop people from becoming the best versions of themselves and to actually start walking in their purpose. We're going to break down all of those lies, dismantle them so that you can know what the truths are and so that you can start actually acting like the confident person you truly are inside. These are the chapters for today's video, and let's get right into it. The first thing that we are going to dismantle is the lie that confidence equals feigned modesty. I would consider myself quite attractive. If somebody comes up to me and says, "You're so pretty," if I know I'm pretty, fake modesty would be me going,
No, I'm not. I'm just, regular, like, stop.
see how I just wanted to gag a little bit? I just wanted to... Fake modesty is not attractive and it's not cute. Why? Because it's not genuine. What's the difference between ingenuine and disingenuous? Disingenuous. It comes across as disingenuous. People know it's fake. You were not given the skills that you were given, and you were not given the beauty that you were given, and you were not given the ability to do the certain things that you can do by the almighty creator for you to sit there and act like you do not have the skills to do what you need to do. You do not have the beauty that you have, and you do not have the traits or the characteristics that you have when somebody wants to compliment you on it. There is no need for all of that extra language. Confidence doesn't mean that you're arrogant all the time. And so because it doesn't mean that you're arrogant, that also means that you don't have to fake humility. You being confident does not mean that you are not humble. If somebody mistakes your confidence for arrogance, that says more about them than it says about you. So for you to now be putting in all these extra words and these extra sentences to fake humility is unnecessary because you don't need it. Just say thank you. Just say thank you. Now, you don't need to be like, I know. You can say it as a jokey way, because I do that sometimes. You can say it as a joke, but like statements like I know, whether we like it or not, do come off as arrogant. Just say thank you. Just say thank you, or I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Don't be like, no, that old thing. Like, save all of us the time. Save yourself the headache, and save yourself the misconception of confidence not equaling humility. The second lie, if I'm confident, people will think I'm arrogant. There's a difference between arrogance and confidence. I think the arrogant term tends to be assigned to confident introverts. There's this misconception that a lot of introverts are just shy. No, they don't talk. She's quiet. There's nothing wrong with being quiet, but introvert just means that you take your energy from being alone more than you take your energy from being around other people. Being around other people, some introverts like it, but it drains all introverts. So they need that time to recharge. So because a lot of introverts are more reserved in the beginning, which does not mean that they're quiet and shy. They are just observant. Sometimes they will not speak unless spoken to, but that is not an air of I'm better than you. It's just observing. You were taking in your surroundings. You were getting to know the people around you. If you were visibly like not shifting from foot to foot, if you're visibly having quiet, like a natural confident stance, and you just so happen to be an introvert, or you just so happen to be someone that is naturally quieter, you are perceived as arrogant because you are enigmatic. Nobody can get a read on you, and what people don't understand, they don't like. Confidence is an air of being sure of oneself or just knowledge of oneself, whereas arrogance is more like I'm better than everybody else. Everybody else is beneath me. Do they not give off completely different vibes? They do. You can tell when somebody thinks they're better than you. You will give off a different vibe if you are confident, and you will give off a completely different vibe if you are arrogant. Confidence is an internal thing. It's a lot more grounded and it is a lot more attractive. Arrogance repels people. You don't have to worry. Once you start getting more confident in yourself and you want to stand more confidently, speak more confidently, it will come across and will give the message that she is confident. She knows what she's talking about, and that will get you very far, by the way. If you're very confident in the way that you speak and the way that you carry yourself, people will trust you. The next thing, if I'm confident, people will think I'm cocky. Now, usually cockiness is attributed to men. I'm pretty sure it has something to do with chickens. If you have been in any social situation or any environment with men from different developmental stages, you know which ones are confident and you know which ones are cocky. Usually the ones that are cocky, they just say,
well, yeah, I can do that. Like, that's so easy. I can do that.
you know they can't do that. They're just chatting. It's overconfidence. And it's not always negative, but it's sloppy. There is a difference between them and the actual confident boys in your class. You can tell the difference. So if you can tell the difference between them two in your class, why do you not think that people will be able to tell the difference between you being confident and you being cocky? They'll be able to tell because they have eyes just like you. They can draw conclusions just like you. Of course, some people might project and they just think that everybody that can do what they can't do are cocky or arrogant, and that's not the case. They're just projecting their own feelings onto you. But if you know you were sure in what you were saying, you were sure in what you can do, and you were sure of who you are, why will people think you're cocky? You won't act in a way that is overconfident. You will not act in a way that is sloppy, in a way that's boastful. Cocky people, it's like the chicken, right? They puff up their chest. It's very, I can do this, I can do that. That's overconfident because it's not based off of fact, it's not based off of experience, it's not based off of knowledge. You're just talking for the sake of talking. You're trying to puff your chest out. And you can tell, you know that isn't confidence. It comes off as cockiness. So people will be able to tell the difference with you if you are being cocky and if you are being confident. Rest assured, be confident. It will not come across as you being cocky. The next lie that you were believing that is stopping you from being confident, that confidence is always loud. That is simply not true. This is based off of my own observations and my own experiences. But people who are truly confident, it's like a quiet air of confidence. Like, it's there. You can feel it, but they haven't said anything yet. They're literally just sitting. Confidence is not always loud. Everybody that is truly confident and truly secure, they don't have a point to prove. They don't have a point to prove. But if they need to prove that point, they will prove that point. But if they don't need to, why stress? Have you ever met someone and they haven't said anything yet? They have just walked in the room and they're just exuding confidence. Like, they are permeating the air with their confidence and they have not done anything. They're not trying to do some sort of, body language stance that is a subtle power play or anything like that. They just walked in and you can tell that this person is very confident, not arrogant, not cocky, but confident. I think this whole misconception that I need to be someone big or do something big in order to be confident. Where is my confidence coming from? My achievement then? If I now lose that trophy, now what? Lose that job, then what? Should I now become a loser? No. There are certain things that I can get through my skills and my achievements, but that does not mean that they are the test against which I measure my worthiness of confidence too. You don't need to meet this ridiculously high standard that doesn't exist for you to be confident. That is another lie. Get rid of it. Literally throw it in the bin. You can be confident regardless of that. Spoken about the lies that you are believing that are stopping you from being confident. Now that we have broken that down, let me tell you what will happen if you don't fully embrace your confidence to further drive the point home. I'm sick and tired of seeing people that lack confidence. Literally, it makes me so mad. It makes me so mad because I'm like, I have seen people time and time again lack confidence and act on their lack of confidence. And I hate the fact that I want more for you than you want for yourself. And so I'm going to tell you the things that will happen to you if you don't fully embrace confidence, because you need to get there. If you do not fully embrace your confidence, you will never actualize your potential. I don't like it when people use words like never or won't or will, because it just seems so definite, I don't like it when people speak that over people's lives because it's kind of like you're cursing me. But I'm not cursing you, because this is something that you can control. You can control if you want to actually be confident. That's why you clicked on this video, because you recognize that there are things that are stopping you from reaching that place, but you want to reach that place. Thank you for watching up to this point. Now I'm going to break it down for you. You won't reach your potential if you still allow these lies to live in your brain rent free. You need some sort of assurance in yourself for you to actually go where you were put on this earth to go. If you don't trust yourself, trust God, trust the skills and the talents that you were given, you will never take the first step because you don't think that you have the correct equipment when it's lying right in front of you. You choosing not to be confident because it's a choice. I was there. And I chose to change. I chose to become confident because I knew what I wanted to be. I always knew I wanted big for myself. Ever since I was little. None of those dreams can ever come to pass, by the way, if I lack confidence in myself or in the things and the gifts and the talents that God gave me. And if I lack confidence in Him, I made that choice. It's time for you to make that choice. If you do not fully embrace your confidence, if you do not fully decide to be confident today, if you don't start that journey today, you will have imposter syndrome. This ties into confidence feigning modesty. Because if somebody is complimenting you, giving you a genuine compliment about something that you were good at, about, you know, something that you have that they notice that they think is a good thing, and you were constantly like shutting it down because you think that you have to pretend to be modest, there's going to be a disconnect between your ability and your perception of the level that ability is at. You're going to now think that thing that you're good at, you're actually not as good at. So for example, I sing, right? And I don't sing badly. I can hold a tune. Praise Him. Before, when I was learning, my singing teacher would literally compliment my singing. And because I thought I couldn't be like, oh, thank you, because then I would be accepting it, and you can't do that because that means you're arrogant. Anyway, I felt that I couldn't say thank you. So instead, I was just like, no, I'm not. Like, no, stop. I'm not. And I started to believe it. I started to think I was genuinely bad at singing because I'm afraid that everybody's lying to me and that I'm not as good as I actually think I am. Do you know how scary that is? I don't see my skill or talent properly anymore. And I actually do need to pray about that. But I'm not seeing it for the way that it is. You will literally have cataracts on yourself just because you want to fake modesty, thus leading to imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is crazy because you will literally be doing the thing that you think that you can't do, but you think that you can't do it. Make it make sense. It doesn't. I don't want to see any of you guys walking around with imposter syndrome in 2025. One thing that can happen if you don't fully embrace your confidence is that your confidence can become misplaced. So like I mentioned earlier in the video, instead of from yourself, you will take your confidence from your achievements, the accolades of other people. And what is that? That is external validation. We have talked about it so many times on this channel. We like it. We're humans, you know, we need validation. We like validation, but we do not survive on validation. We do not live only for external validation. Watch my video on external validation. I will link it here. Please, I hope I'm pointing to the right side. We will not misplace our confidence. Say it with me. We will not misplace our confidence. I've made so many videos about confidence on this channel. I wanted to get drilled in here. For people that are not confident watching me, you will become confident today. By force, by fire. I don't care. Watch my other video about things that are giving you away as someone that lacks confidence. And watch my other video on how to have the confidence of a star for you to know what confidence looks like. They will be in the description, and yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like this video, please subscribe as well because I continue to make content. It's what I do. Also, share this video because we need the masses to hear this. Comment down below whatever you want to comment. I do read all of my comments, so I will respond, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.